great to be here to share a few memories of Christmas past. I was here in the 60s and 70s, and then from 85 to 2005 as campus minister. And I think the same spirit of generosity is here at Prep now as it had been in the past. You know, there's always been a tension. Is this Advent or is it Christmas? And we kind of went back and forth on that. You know, it's a season of Advent, but for Prep community and the faculty and staff, it's Christmas. So we'd always try to sing, you know, Christmas songs and have it a little bit more festive and joyful.
I love to watch the campus ministry team decorate our MSC lobby. They bring up the figurines of the nativity scene and the lights.
Back in the 80s, when I was chaplain, we used to decorate the gym for Christmas, Advent, and we went all out. You know, we put poinsettias all over the place. We hung banners up and down the place. And I always asked some students to help me build the cathedral, as I used to call it, in the gym. So I got 3 students to help me, great. And as we're decorating, putting things up, putting banners up, using duct tape, I asked them, well, what religion are you? One kid said, well, he's Jewish. And the other kid said, he's Hindu. And the other kid was a Baptist. So it was great. It was really great. But that's what Prep is. That's what Prep is. That's what it was then. That's what it is now. And these kids were generous. They just wanted to volunteer.
But it's just really special to walk through the buildings and see so many different people really having a hand in decorating different areas of campus. And it reflects a lot of the great personalities of Prep, I think. You know, everybody sort of takes their own approach.
I like when they put lights everywhere. You can't see it, but they put the lights in the lobby, they put the lights in the commons, lights in the library. It's fantastic. Shout out to the maintenance staff.
Everyone would become very festive. And one year we were all in the middle of decorating our doors here and there. And someone said, you need to go see what Sue Delane has done. She had quite a bit of wall space on both sides of her door. And she had literally transformed the front of that classroom into a gingerbread house. She had a scalloped awning. She had windows on both sides of the door. She had gingerbread men. And I just thought to myself, you clearly want to win this contest this year. And I loved the Fighting Irish in that girl.
Speaking of lights, you know, Father Azzardo always used to decorate the faculty room with beautiful random lights, which I thought was so much fun to go in and see what the lights looked like there.
One of my really fond memories of Advent and Christmas at Prep is from my student days, just walking into the Mulry lobby and seeing it decorated in the signature style of Father Tony Azzardo.
And just in terms of lights, we would get the Amos team, but they would come and we'd have a real tree in the foyer, and the seniors would decorate the tree. And then we had so many lights in the foyer. It was just incredible, the amount of lights we had.
So there would be the Advent wreath in the middle of the lobby, and then all along the walls, Christmas lights of varying sizes and colors and patterns. Some were flashing and some were solid, some were white and some were colorful. As Christmas break approached, there would be mornings where all of the lights in the lobby would be off except for the Christmas lights. And there would just be this simple joy in anticipating Christmas break and Christmas itself.
We've always decorated the principal's office with lights and wreaths, but the Christmas tree is new since we moved into this new space, and the lights add an extra special touch. I love them.
We try to celebrate Advent in a special way also, say like the first Monday after the Sunday in Advent. But Chris Manley, I'll always remember, he would have his guitar, and we would give out some song sheets, and we'd sing O Come, Emmanuel. And then we'd have a reading from Scripture, and then people would share just a little bit who they wanted to pray for, and the lighting of the first candle, and then the second candle the following week, and then the third candle.
I still remember Clem O'Sullivan in the French class. He would get us going singing French Christmas carols. And I still remember to this day, I wouldn't want to sing it, but but I mean, you can't sing math formulas, so there was nothing in we could commemorate in geometry or anything like that.
I remember when I was teaching freshmen, it was kind of a nice time of year because many of the freshmen, or more precisely their parents, were still in the custom of making sure they had gifts for their teachers. So on the last day before Christmas break, I would leave with a pretty nice haul of Christmas presents for my freshman students.
So I've been the director of Vox for 7 years now, and our annual Christmas concert gives me and the opportunity to work with Mr. Kazowitz, the jazz band and the concert band, and we get the opportunity as all musicians and performing artists at Prep to come together and spread some Christmas cheer.
Definitely the Christmas concert, because it's the only time of year that my grandma can actually see me play my instrument, which is really important to me. And I really like the music we play. I like some of the more traditional, more famous Christmas songs.
Our Secret Santa that we have among our Prep faculty and staff. It's always a lot of fun to have that moment when people keep a secret for a couple weeks and then they have the big reveal at our hot chocolate and cookie party. And of course, we have our ugly sweater contest that happens among our faculty, staff, and students.
My favorite Christmas tradition throughout my first 2 years has been the ugly Christmas sweater competition.
I also think of a tradition that Jack Roslowski started when he was coaching soccer, and then I continued when I was head coach. Right before Christmas break, we would take the soccer players over to New York City for dinner and then some type of show. It was just a great night, a great time of the year to be in New York City.
During the Christmas holidays, they did a Christmas festival, which was a basketball tournament of several schools in the area.
A couple days prior to Christmas break, Mr. Morris sends out an email to all of us students asking what Christmas songs like our favorite. He takes the votes into consideration, and the day prior to Christmas break, throughout the school day, after every class ends, usually we have a bell ringing, but he puts in our favorite Christmas music, and it brings the prep community together, and it really, we had that spirit in our school, and it's great.
Being a part of Anna Garcia's Spanish honors and AP Spanish classes, she had this tradition every December where all the students and their parents would come together for a dinner at Sabor Bistro in Edgewater, and it was cool. It was an opportunity to get together with your classmates, a class that we all enjoyed, and a class that was all about community building, for us to learn about each other's traditions.
This is a Petrock from December of 1951, so it gives you an idea, 70 years ago, how the Jesuits celebrated Christmas here. The only commemoration of Christmas there is a sodality group that was bringing meals to the homeless.
We also try to look to other people. We had what is called socks and sandwiches. We asked students to bring in, a pair of sweat socks, new ones. Sometimes people would bring in 6-pack or 10 socks, and also a sandwich, and to bring that in and all wrapped. And then we would distribute that. We'd either bring it to people who are homeless in New York City, or we would bring sandwiches to people at Journal Square. And also, Eric Secco would help us, with St. Peter's University.
We have our Adopt a Family program that students and teachers participate in.
My favorite Christmas tradition that we celebrate here this time of year is the Adopt a Family program. Not only does it offer so much to so many underprivileged families, it brings this community, St. Peter's Prep, together.
We also, way back when, Father John Browning, who was just a terrific person, a great Jesuit priest, he himself was adopted. And I think he always had a a sense of those who didn't have too much.
Father John Browning used to run the food drive at Christmas time. And he would personally deliver baskets of food along. He would take a couple of students to each house when he went out so they could see what the situation was. And it was right down here before any of the development took place. And their jaws just fell. It was cold. The oven door was open for heat. You know, they had the oven going and the door open for heat. That's how poor it was down here around this section. And I think John Browning felt a real sense of, mission accomplished. He had taught these boys the lesson, of appreciating people and their needs and how they could help.
And all this good energy really sort of culminates in the Christmas/Advent Mass on the day before winter break.
We had a Christmas Mass that was celebrated in the church. That was when it was still seaworthy. The church had not sunk yet.
The Christmas Mass, coming together as the entire prep community with all of my brothers to celebrate the birth of Jesus is one of the most special times of the year.
It was something to really look forward to. We get this great celebration in the gym. Everyone would get together for the assembly. You celebrate Mass with Father Keenan and Father Rizzardo and Father Mullen. Then it was Father Reiser with Father Rizzardo and Father Mullen. Always a great celebration. Father Benz, great homilies that were shared with us.
With, a sermon which was obviously Christmas oriented.
For me, the highlight of all of our activities is our Advent Christmas liturgy.
The music is wonderful, and the celebrants, it's just a very festive time of the year.
You go into the gym and it's decorated for Christmas, and just this loud, brassy Christmas music courtesy of the prep band, and it really just sets the tone, for this great moment that we all share together before we kind of go our separate ways and into the break.
Your heart is filled with such joy. It really is. You see the students, the anticipation. They're energized.
There's just something about having our band play at the beginning of the liturgy to get us in that Christmas mood, that Christmas spirit, and then to all come together to sing.
The prep band cranking out Christmas tunes. There's nothing better right before Christmas break than 1,000 folks in the prep gym singing as one, "We Need a Little Christmas," right this very minute. And that would just put me in the most festive and celebratory mood that I could ever imagine.
If your mood is not in the right place, you're definitely going to leave there very happy.
I just think there's something very beautiful about that, and that's such a great way to really officially begin the Christmas holiday here at Prep.
We invited Bishop John Fleesy, who was a graduate from 1960, to celebrate the Mass. And as it turns out, we had won the football championship that year. And when he was a senior on the football team, he had won the championship. So he began the Mass and he raised up his hand with his football ring on it. And everybody went wild. It was a great moment of school spirit. And of course, they were all absorbed into the Mass, and they wanted to hear what he had to say.
And in recent years, one of the highlights has been the Christmas video that the TV studio has put together, which, as an alum of the Prep TV studio, makes me very proud.
Something about the Christmas video that I think is just a fun way to end our time at St. Peter's Prep before a new year, before we come back for semester 2. The Christmas video is a perfect opportunity for students to showcase their talents as either actors or producers as part of the TV studio. And it's also just a great opportunity for teachers and students alike to kind of laugh at themselves a little bit and have a bit of fun.
And ever since I was a freshman, I always wanted to make it a goal for myself to star in the video. Well, this year, I have the privilege of being the star of this year's Christmas video.
There's a whole community the prep school has formed rallying around these videos, talking about these videos, speculating about what videos are going to be next. They're always really funny, and I know that the faculty and staff and the students as well have tons of fun making them.
Because I feel like they're a little time capsule that students 4 years from now can look at, and they'll see the prep of the past, a prep that doesn't exist anymore.
Between the Vox and the band leading a little sing-along afterwards, Christmas video is one of the best parts of that assembly. It's like everything good that we could possibly do was thrown in there.
That was just a great way to just kick off the winter break for us. And for me, it was something to look forward to. We get out, short order day.
We had the whole rest of the day ahead of us. All of our friends were in one place. It was like a little extra Christmas gift from prep.
I always used to tell my freshmen, don't go home. Do something. It's a chance to meet your classmates.
You'd go out for lunch to someplace, that wasn't the pizza place or the cafeteria, which was pretty much all we had back then.
We're outside, walking straight down to Newport Mall. It's cold. Go get lunch at the food court.
You might venture to Newport Mall and see, waves of other prep kids there. You wouldn't necessarily see everybody during the break, and you wouldn't be like in constant contact like you probably would be now.
It was an opportunity for people to kind of celebrate, to be together.
Just that excitement of knowing we had maybe a week to 10 days off.
Once December 1st hit, our site was on winter break. Like, okay, this is how many days we have left.
The sense of anticipation was tremendous,
But there was always kind of the looming specter of midterm exams coming soon after our return.
One thing that stands out is progress reports, because if my progress reports aren't good, then I might not do so well on Christmas.
But it was appreciated. It was a great break. You were with your friends from the neighborhood, which wasn't the same as during the school year, because you'd get home after 4 o'clock or maybe after 5 o'clock, and it was dark, so you didn't really go out with your friends in the neighborhood. You were just hanging around with the school friends.
And a really cool way that we celebrated Christmas each year with the swim team was right in between Christmas and New Year's. We would have a breakfast with the entire team at VIP Diner, have a little gift for a little reward for being together during that time, and just celebrate being part of a team.
So it was different. Coming back after the holidays, everybody would learn what had happened during the holidays, what was fun, what was enjoyable in their own homes, in their families, because, guys would be talking about family customs and traditions, and that was sort of an interesting thing.
I also remember early on in my prep years, suddenly my Christmas gifts becoming prep dress code items. So I needed a white shirt, or I needed a certain tie, or I needed things that were prep dress code, and that kind of impacted my Christmas gift list because they weren't even on my list. They were just gifts that came my way because my mom said, you need a new blazer or you need new dress shoes. I loved coming back after Christmas break and then walking up and down the aisles of class and pointing out what I knew were Christmas gifts. And I tell you guys, that's a new tie, or those are brand new shoes. and they would all laugh about that, or sometimes it was a winter coat or hat or scarf, and they were very proud that I was spotting their Christmas haul.
A week and a half, some years more like 2 weeks of primarily being with family. And then you had something to look forward to when you came back too. Seeing some folks that you didn't see over break and all that. So there was again just sort of this march through the Advent and Christmas season that was really all about appreciating the people around you in many ways, and appreciating the gift that was prep, and that is prep.
The great spirit of prep with the faculty and with the students, I think, lives on. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, they said his heart was too small, and I think the prep tradition is to always have generous hearts, and I've always found that even as they come back in different ways. So thank you very much. Have a great Christmas.
Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bring me a cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, ding dong, that is their song, with cheerful ring of caroling. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raising the sound, o'er hill and dale, telling their tale. Gaily they ring while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas. Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas. too young and old, deep and the bold, ding dong, that is their song, with joyful ring, all caroling, one seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere.